What happens when a foreign adversary strikes at the digital heart of American warfare and thinks it can get away with it?
A reef with 22 identified. 14 suicide drones, Titan 6. In less than 6 minutes, 980,000 gallons of JP-8 jet fuel were burned. But Russia had made a fatal miscalculation. Next up is Operation Sea Revenge, a swift and precise U.S. counterattack using
How might Russia respond? Stay with us and watch as the U.S. turns silence into shockwaves.
At exactly 3:42 a.m. on October 17, 2025, 14 Russian-made officially listed as a civilian power platform, Poseidon 6 is actually one of the Pentagon's most sensitive logistics hubs. Named Switchpoint Prime, it is the central refueling and data fusion node for 3 aircraft carrier strike groups. More than 70 autonomous drones and 2 corridors of B-21 bombers across the Indian Ocean.
The explosion created a fireball more than 100 feet high, visible as far away as Sotra Island, 180 miles away.
It caused a shockwave equivalent to a magnitude 3.1 earthquake, shattering steel supports designed to withstand missile impact. 6 engineers died on the spot. 11 others suffered burns to more than 60% of their bodies. A 4th drone crashed into an encrypted satellite link tower, cutting off 6,200 daily targeting updates for U.S. A 4th drone crashed into an encrypted satellite link tower, cutting off 6,200 daily targeting updates for U.S.
A 6th drone, all 3 same extinguishing.
What makes this incident even more terrifying is not just what was hit, but who was behind it.
In other words, Russia launched this attack from its own territory, and no one noticed.
It was the first successful attack on a strategic U.S. logistics node since Pearl Harbor.
Only this time, the enemy did not come by sea, but by signal, silence, and speed.
This wasn't just an attack, it was a challenge. Should the U.S. strike back harder?
Let us know in the comments and support the channel by subscribing.
Poseidon 6 was never about crude oil. It was a hidden artery, feeding over 1.7 million gallons. It processed 6,200 encrypted drone targeting packets every day, coordinated B-21 bomber flight,
And now it was offline. Were immediately canceled.
Worse still, the explosion breached Vault 3C, triggering an emergency code black across the Pentagon's drone AI labs.
That single vault contained 9 AI neural cores worth $74 million, each one.
Intelligence feared at least one chip may have survived.
The failure wasn't just logistical, it was psychological.
The ripple wasn't local, it was global.
and at 4:01 a.m., a single phrase echoed across naval command. But this was only the beginning. What came next changed the rules of modern warfare. Stay with us. By 5:28 a.m., the United States was no longer operating in shock. It was moving with intent.
The Pentagon's response wasn't emotional. It was procedural. A Tier 1 response was authorized under Directive.
The codename Operation C-Reprisal. The order was clear. Neutralize the launch point, eliminate Russian UAV and...
The mission was handed to Rear Admiral Rachel Keane, commander of Carrier Strike Group 9.
Within minutes, the U.S. Navy's most lethal assets began to stir across multiple time zones.
From the USS Ronald Reagan, 4 F-35C Lightning II fighters roared into the early dawn, armed with AG.
Their role: eliminate radar, fuel, and control systems.
At Diego Garcia, 2 B-21 Raider stealth bombers taxied in total radio silence. Each carried 2 GBU-57C deep earth penetrators. Bombs weighing over 5,300 pounds, engineered to pulverize targets buried beneath 200 feet of reinforced concrete. They're launched.
Above them, 18 MQ-25 Stingray drones entered the air first, forming a digital curtain over the battlefield.
Each one carried a 1,000-pound warhead programmed to strike 4 radar facilities, 2 drone assembly hangars, and 1 hardened underground command bunker.
All assets were in motion before the public ever knew that the U.S. had been hit. This wasn't a retaliation announced on CNN.
In just 37 minutes, American...
There was no more speculation, no more diplomacy. The United States had chosen to answer in the only language its enemies understand.
Do you think this level of response was justified, or should the U.S. have gone even further? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
At 6:12 a.m., the skies above Astrakhan, a heavily fortified region in southern Russia, turned hostile. The air was still. From 60,000 feet, 2 B-21 Raider bombers launched hours earlier from Diego Garcia breached Russian airspace undetected.
Invisible to radar, they glided in shadow, flying a pre-programmed path that exploited known gaps in Russian defense networks.
Their target was Borisov 9, Russia's most secretive drone facility, buried beneath 3 layers of reinforcement.
At 6:17 a.m., both Raiders released their payload.
Guided by satellite and onboard AI, the bombs accelerated to over 750 miles per hour, piercing deep into the bunker complex. 7 seconds later, the ground erupted. A 3.6 magnitude tremor was recorded across the Volga River basin. Flames erupted from underground vents. A black plume of smoke rose 1,200 feet into the sky, visible from nearby villages.
At the same moment, F-35C Lightning II fighters roared in at treetop level, using their ASQ-239
They unleashed AGM-158B cruise missiles directly into the drone assembly zones. At ASM-10 and F-16 drones launched restless warmed Reagans.
Russian air defenses fired over 40 surface-to-air missiles, none of which hit their mark.
Meanwhile, 32 Tomahawk Block 5 missiles launched earlier from USS Thomas Hudner and USS Gidley struck with brutal precision.
One hit a hardened satellite uplink station. Another vaporized the cooling chamber of the AI testing lab. 2 warheads pierced the underground command vault delta, detonating among exposed processors and prototype flight chips.
The destruction was total $1.1 billion in research infrastructure, gone in under 12 minutes.
47 long-range UAVs, 9 autonomous AI cores, and 5 years of test data were erased in a single synchronized blow.
Satellite footage showed the Borisov 9 complex carrying its concrete roof folding like paper.
Russian emergency beacons blinked once, then fell silent.
By 6:33 a.m., American forces had eyes on the smoldering ruin.
This was not an airstrike. This was an eraser.
The mission was complete. No further strikes were authorized because none were needed.
In a window of just over 180 minutes, the United States had executed a global-scale joint force operation involving all without a single broadcasted threat, and with near zero detection until impact. The results were undeniable.
Russian absolute 1.2 billion billets. Russian asset destroyed. 47 long-range UAVs.
0 U.S. casualties. 0 enemy survivors at the strike site.
Antony reported Lysa. Russian state media was silent for nearly 6 hours. When Moscow finally responded, the statement was,
No direct blame was assigned. No retaliation was threatened. But in the Pentagon, the real conversation was already over.
Strategic vacuum restored. Logistic supremacy reaffirmed.
Around the world, governments took notice. NATO command channels quietly praised the response as proportional, precise, and doctrine-driven. The United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia issued public support. China and Iran offered no official comment.
The UN Security Council convened briefly, then adjourned without a resolution.
Because behind every headline was one shared understanding. The United States did not respond to an order.
Poseidon 6 was never about energy. It was about infrastructure, invisibility, and digital superiority. And America had proven that even its silent platforms are not soft targets. They are sovereign extensions of military reach.
You strike them. You invoke the full spectrum of American force.
In this new era, deterrence isn't declared, it's delivered.
And on August 5th, deterrence came at 60,000 feet, traveling faster than sound and speaking only in fire.
The October 17th Poseidon 6 attack was more than just a military accident. It was a carefully...
In just 5 minutes and 46 seconds, the United States lost more than 134 million. But that was just the beginning. What followed was one of the fastest and most precise full-spectrum retaliatory operations in modern history.
Flexible and androids. In under 186 minutes, the United States deployed 2 stealth bombers, 4 fifth-generation F.
The result, 47 next-generation UAVs destroyed, 9 autonomous...
This was not vengeance. This was deterrence in action. A reminder that American logistics are not soft targets.
They are force multipliers, and any attempt to them will be met with overwhelming, layered, and lethal response. To those watching from bunkers, boardrooms, and war rooms around the world, the message was unmistakable.
Because in today's wars, the first strike may come from silence, but the answer comes...
If you believe America must always stay ready, support us by subscribing and helping this story reach more patriots.